So the Washington, D.C. North Mission is a really small mission. If you go from the southern tip, where the Chesapeake Bay and the Potomac River meet, all the way to the very northern part of our mission, it would take you about 3.5 hours. And then going east to west, maybe an hour. It's really small. And me serving Spanish speaking, I serve in the northern and the southernmost areas. And again, it's about 50 minutes to an hour between those two areas. So it's a really small mission, which is really neat because with there only being about 160 missionaries there, tops, because we max out within the wards, you get to know all the missionaries really well. We constantly are meeting up at the temple, the Washington, D.C. temple, the most beautiful temple in the world. We're constantly meeting up and having trainings as a full mission because it's such a small mission as possible. There's 5 languages that are spoken there. There's ASL, French, Spanish, English, and Chinese. And so there are branches or wards for all of those languages because it's such a diverse place, being Maryland and Washington, D.C. People come from all over the world. So it's really vital that we have all those languages. The church is doing really well there. The wards are very strong. Missionary work is doing great. There's a lot of great members there. There's Potomac and Bethesda, which are there as well, which are 2 very wealthy cities. And there are some members of the church that are very powerful in regards to owning large businesses or even being involved in the government. And they're very supportive. And their testimonies are so strong. Even the humble people in the lower parts of the state are so humble too, such strong testimonies and the fire to share the missionary work and to share the gospel with other people. Something that's really neat about Washington, D.C. or the Washington, D.C. North Mission is the temple is just the highlight of Maryland. I mean, the best pass along card is the one that has the Washington, D.C. North Mission on. It has a picture of it. It says a visitor center. And if you show anybody in Maryland or D.C. or even Virginia that card, they'll know what it is. They'll usually say the Mormon Temple, or they'll say, oh, it reminds me of a castle. And it's just the neatest thing because there's this freeway called the Beltway. It's this huge circle. And the temple is located right off of that, and you can see it directly coming down the freeway. And so everybody in all of Maryland and Virginia knows about that temple. And it's such a unique thing to have in our mission. It's huge, it's beautiful, and everyone knows about it. It's a great conversation starter. And the ward sizes for the Spanish wards there are a few branches and a few wards as well. And the wards can have anywhere up to about 250 members, which is a pretty big ward, especially for a Spanish ward. And the branches are somewhere as small as 50 people. And so the church is growing really fast there. If you talk to lots of the members of the bishopric or the church leaders, lots of them are converts as of the past 5-10 years. And so it's so neat to see how many branches and new wards have developed over even just the past decade.